here we are on this trail and out for a walk for the first time since I haven't had my Garmin watch on. And I'm like, oh no, how am I gonna keep track of how many steps I've had today? And I'm wondering, like, why does it even matter? Like, what's the deal with that? Like,
what an arbitrary number. Who came up with 10,000 steps for everybody? And is that just like a marketing thing?
And yes, it's an arbitrary number, but also, why in the first place? Like, I seem to be fine all the years of my life without knowing how many steps I've done. I'd like to see if there was some statistics showing that people are more active, I wonder, as a result of monitoring their steps.
Yeah, I'm sure, because like a gratification anything game, you know, the way they design apps for our phones and for our devices is that they give you little celebratory markers and, you know, milestones and bells and whistles and awards and
oh my gosh, like
goals.
All of that, and badges. Like, every time I see you can win a badge if you do, like, what the hell?
Right? So, but that's like the game. That's turned it into a game. And so, like, steps, maybe the number was just chosen once upon a time ago, like, because it's actually like a number, like a rounded square number that's high enough that makes it feel like a milestone.
Right.
And I think, like, probably they also looked at how sedentary and little people move actually in a day. So,
sure.
So who knows where the number came from? But it is very funny that it's the same number for everybody, and it's even more peculiar that you or I or anybody actually now has, like, developed a mindset, a neuroses, a life, a mindset, a thing that we think about that's like, oh, have to reach 10,000 steps. Why not have to reach 9,000? Why not have to reach 13,000? Like,
I don't know.
Why do we got this number? Why can't it be like a really obscure number?
Sure, and beyond that, why am I thinking about how many steps I'm taking out here walking in the woods with you in the first place?
Yeah.
Like, why is that important? You know, like,
yeah.
I feel like somehow all these little Fitbit details are actually taking me away from the moment.
Yeah.
In some way.
Yeah.
That I don't know. I just know that it's put me in this place of, I feel more when I've been really working on, we got to cross this bike. We're going to cross first?
We're going to take a few steps real fast after this bike comes through.
Okay. And I'm
woohoo! There's a race and we're getting in the way of it.
Okay. Bam.
So you've been really working on something.
I've been really working on paying attention to what is taking up my brain space, my brain power, my attention, and all sorts of things. Like, so I took my Garmin watch off, and I noticed now I'm like, well, should I carry my phone so I can record my steps? Like, why is my brain so occupied with my steps when I never used to be? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
So it goes on, right? When I think about, well, so I'm wanting to be more intentional with my life instead of reactive, because I feel like I've become reactive to so many elements just of my Garmin watch. Like, where's my body battery, and how is my sleep doing? And then for a while, I integrated it with an app that counted calories, and I was like going,
all these little things to focus on
that take my attention away from life, really.
Yeah.
And so if I'm taking my attention away from life, and that is something I want to dip back into and ask myself, well, what would I be doing if I wasn't? How can I use this as a tool rather than it using me?
Right.
And so I'm realizing all the areas that have taken up my mind and that I've deemed important that actually aren't important. Whether it be what's the weather going to be today, or that was another one.
Yeah.
I wonder if somebody's emailed me in the last 5 minutes.
Right.
all these things.
Yes.
I wonder how many likes I've had on my latest post. And
Okay, so what's the, we've been diving into this lately. What's the issue at hand with all those little optimizational focuses?
optimizational. I think that's what I'm sold on, is that this is going to you'll live more efficiently and effectively.
Yeah.
But actually, I feel like the tool is using me.
Right, like all the things that have been designed so far. I bet everybody can think of all the things that have been designed so far in our modern world that were supposed to make our lives like easier. It was supposed to be easier, quicker,
Right?
faster, easier, and free up, like the washing machine,
Right.
or
Right.
the dishwasher.
Yeah.
Right? If you just can put all your stuff in this machine and it can do it for you, you'll free up loads of time that you used to use hand washing your laundry or your dishes.
Yeah, and I think what we lose is we lose something of ourselves. So you and I walked the Camino last year.
Yeah.
And one of the cool features in Spain were these old wash houses that were now abandoned, by the way.
Yeah. Where everybody gathered,
Right?
like
And-
communally,
And did their laundry.
on say whatever mornings or whatever.
Or
however
maybe
they
it
did
happened all week long, but
Yeah.
it was just this rotating.
And that's when you chit-chatted with your neighbors. Yeah, for sure. And but all sorts of conveniences. The computer in our pockets was, meant to make our life everything easier and faster, so that it freed us up. It gave us more freedom.
Right. That's the intention, and yet I guess my self-study, it's totally a self-study, is when I peel back the addiction to these devices, because really that's what it's become for me.
Yeah.
It's a knee-jerk. I'm doing it without even consideration.
Yeah.
So because it's become an addiction for me, I'm trying to pay more attention and be more mindful. And so computer in my pocket, cool.
Mm-hmm.
Now that I'm putting my phone aside more and going, and when I go to reach for it, I'm asking myself, do you really need to do that right now? Is that important? Do you really need to have your phone with you?
Yeah.
Can somebody actually, if somebody texts you,
Yeah, but why are you doing that? You want to make your life harder and slower and
well, I'm wondering if by making my life slower, by less convenient, if I'm actually going to find it more effective or more efficient. That I'm actually,
Yeah, because I think that's the thing we're arguing with right now is, did all of these things
Right.
make our life actually more convenient? Because, I don't know about all of everyone else out there, but we just sat in a room full of people who were arguing that their life has never ever been busier.
right.
And how did that happen? And
How did it
When
happen?
did it happen? And how did it happen? And how, with all these modern conveniences, do we have a more stressed out, fast-paced,
Right.
time flying, busy mind, busy schedule, overwhelming life load?
So all of this is wondering for me.
Yes, wondering.
I wonder if it's because we have come to a place where we've become addicted to efficiency.
Right.
And so I wonder if it's a response to that.
And optimization.
And optimization, right? So in this optimization, we got to get more done.
Yeah.
And I think that I've worked with people and they're like, I want to make my business really successful so I can make a difference in the world. And I'm like, why not make a difference today? By, lending somebody a hand or...
Anywhere you can make a difference.
Yeah, right? Like, why do we have to get, go, achieve, and then we'll make a difference?
Right. I want to say, where did that concept, like, when did that, like, how and when and what took over our minds to make us feel like that was the thing, and then we locked ourselves into this hamster wheel maze that...
Do more, get more, be more, achieve more.
Yeah, like something, like, was it always this way? Is that the human wiring? I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
But at some point, we've all signed on to it, so much so that we don't even know.
And why have we signed on to it? What are you called if you don't?
What are you called?
What are you called? It's that person who's not out there achieving and becoming lazy.
Waste of space.
Waste of space. Like there's all this
that's all just part of
demoralizing name calling we do for people who are just living.
It's all part of the same, like, marketing campaign, if you will. But
right?
Like, that has just trapped us.
And what if, here's a thought, what if the people that live on the street have opted out of this path? Okay, so sure, a lot of them have, well, we're told, I don't know the facts. I'm told a lot of them have mental illness. It appears that a lot of them are drug addicted. What if there's people on the street, living in their cars, living on the road, who've just decided to opt out of this way of living? Because they're like, Yeah. And I think about it for myself even sometimes when I'm being neurotic about my financial situation and planning and worrying like I tend to do. But I think about, well, worst comes to worst. What would be okay for me for living? And I feel like I could live really cheaply if I cut out of the system. Like I wouldn't take me much to...
It'd be hard to get out of the system, though. That's kind of the moral of this story. Is
right?
Like, we've been enslaved in a system for so long.
Yeah.
Like, to me, it's not, you could totally survive because you're very capable. I know you could survive on very little and just have a great old time.
Right.
But how hard it would be to actually remove oneself from this, like, really larger system that we live in.
And for the average person to do that, like the whole of society can't all of a sudden start living in their cars.
It would be kind of a shit show.
It would, right? So it's not realistic.
That's making me think of, like, all the past, like, thought leaders, people trying to do it new ways over time that keep trying to, like, somebody keeps attempting to kind of bring us out of this,
right?
This, like,
conditioning
trap system we're in. Tries to wake us up to. That's been going on forever. Earlier, you and I were talking about.
Sorry, just.
She likes the tree so much, she's gonna follow her.
It's a big tree.
We were talking about even just somebody more recent in our lifetime.
Like, we can't even get it. Oh, there we are.
Yay. That.
Yes.
Somebody more recent in our lifetime, like Bob Marley,
right?
His message was like all about nobody's actually slaved us physically. I mean, that's certainly happened in our historical evidence, obviously, but the majority of us, no matter that we're not physically enslaved, we're mentally enslaved. And, like, somehow we got to this place where we're trapped by our own story minds and the, like, story that we've all agreed to. And only we can keep, stay stuck there or free ourselves from it. And that, like, there's been people who have come time and time again to deliver that message to the world. And somehow we keep staying trapped.
It's true. There's evidence of it in written history, and then parables of it beyond, like of a people enslaved in some way or another, and shown the way to freedom, and gone back to slavery.
Yeah.
And I'll just go back to being told what to do.
Or it's been a small movement, or it's been a large movement, or but it's been short-lived, or
it's so interesting to me because when we look at the wellness culture, and I've been involved in it for 30 or more years, or more, for sure, and how now it's become a fad. And I wonder, like, at some point it loses its own self. Like the initial movement of all the things, whether it be meditation or whether it be all the things, think of some, yoga, spiritual literature, new thought, metaphysics, what's the science?
What's the science?
Yeah, physics. Quantum physics, right?
Meditation.
All the things.
Yeah.
So all of this, I remember in the 90s, books coming out like, boom, another book. Wow, another book. Cool. And it was all new, inspired thought about
what
wholeness.
If you're silent for 10 days? And
what
if you go into the darkness?
And those books still stand through time. Like here we are 30 years later, and they still are really excellent.
Yeah, still valid practices.
Absolutely. And
still things to aim for.
And yet I think people, generally speaking, it's so easy. Like me with the watch. I got the watch because I didn't want to carry my phone out on a walk. And because this watch specifically, I could put books and music on it. But before I knew it, I became engulfed in the whole wellness of following all my
data, sleep and energy, and like, how do you feel today? Your watch will tell you.
Right?
How did you sleep last night? Your watch will tell you.
And
what's your score? Like a game score. Your watch will give you that every day.
And it's so fascinating because I got the watch in the first place to get rid of my phone, to get rid of something, to free my mind while I was out on a walk, and yet it did the opposite.
Right.
I wonder how much everything has a tendency to how we are so, what's the word, so vulnerable to that kind of, I'm careful with my words, like a kid in a candy shop.
Psychological trap.
It's a psychological trap, but where it's like, ooh, this new thing, ooh, that new thing, ooh, like, and before we knew it,
Shiny bells and whistles.
Yes, that shiny thing, and before we knew it, that shiny thing has actually imprisoned.
I just don't think that this is what our minds were for.
Yeah.
And I'm not just talking about focusing on devices. I just don't think that, regurgitating.
Right.
There's a little egg mass right there.
Oh, cool.
I don't think, probably salamanders. I don't think regurgitating like everybody else's ideas and thoughts, and I don't think focusing on little, device data points all the time, or looking at ourselves through a lens, or like an actual lens.
Right.
Or just recycling the conditioning that we've been told our whole lives, and like sticking to that and only knowing that. Like, I just don't think this is what the human mind was for. I don't think that's the thing I don't think that's the reason we have this incredible mind that separates us from
right.
all the other creatures.
Right.
on this planet so that we could just trap ourselves and enslave ourselves
in the
our
mundane,
head.
in the routine, in the
Right.
copying, in the
I think it's real safe,
for
real
sure.
comfortable, and real entertaining.
I think you nailed it. It's entertaining and it's safe. I think if I fear my peers shaming me or making fun of me, am I going to stand out?
Yeah.
I probably don't want to. I mean, I watch my teenager granddaughter astutely watch everybody to make a decision on how she's going to actually behave in the next 5-10 minutes. And aren't we all much like that as teenagers?
Yeah.
Because we don't want to get kicked out of the tribe, but
Yeah.
there's something, why has it become so terrifying to be creatively unique?
I think people, I think humans will always ponder the why,
Yeah.
but I think we are
Whew!
grappling with, we don't have the answer to
We
that.
don't
We
have
don't
the
know.
answer.
We're just experimenting and we're grappling with what our minds are really for.
I agree.
And how free and magnificent and inspired our lives can be when we
Yeah.
come from a different place.
And to experiment with that. Because I don't think we know the
We're
answer.
experimenting. You experiment.
Tell us about your experiments and I'll try them too.